The problem is the builders, my dad's mate, he's a proper geezer, proper South East London geezer. One of those builders that, you know, that walk? Just walks like that. His legs like he's got a pool table between his legs. And he walks like that, and also he's got those really thin jogging bottoms. You know, those like grey jogging bottoms that builders wear? I don't know where they get them from. They're so thin, and it just grabs onto anything that's there. I feel like I'm getting stared out by his knob and balls as he comes in. And sometimes it's weirder than him being naked. I don't know why. It feels more intrusive. He's like, hello, son, what we got here? I don't know. Everything's walking around like that. I reckon I could draw his knob and bollocks from memory better than mine. So he's coming like that, and I'm like, oh, God. I go, do you want a cup of tea? He goes, yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. I went, how many sugars? He went, 13. That's not a cup of tea anymore, it's a pudding. That's an angel delight of a tea bag, innit? 13 sugars, how'd our mate sticking it in? It's about £3 worth of sugar. He's only come round for a quote, it's already cost me. I put 14 in to test him. Give it him. He went, it's a bit sweet, innit? You winding me up, you're on 13, you greedy bastard. Oh, type 2 Terry's come round and it's a bit sweet for him, is it? When are you going to do this job? I want it done before your foot comes off, all right? Anyway, I had a Kit Kat in the fridge, right? I thought, right, let's get him back on side of Kit Kat, right? He's into sugar. I like introducing people to new things, see if he wants a Kit Kat. 4-finger Kit Kat. Like, how would you eat a Kit Kat? 4 fingers? I've said that wrong, haven't I? I thought you looked at me funny. Sorry, I said that like it was your name. What I meant to say... I don't know what I meant to say. I meant to how would you eat a 4-finger Kit Kat? But I went, how'd you eat a Kit Kat? 4 fingers. Oh, hello, 4 fingers, how's it going? Who needs thumbs, eh? Me to smoke by the looks of things. Sorry about that. Not an ideal nickname for a young lady, is it, really? So what would you do? 1 finger at a time? Is that what you'd... Should we start again? Sorry, what's your name? Anita. Nice to meet you, Anita. Sorry for calling you 4 fingers. Anyway, Anita, how'd you eat a Kit Kat? That's what I was going for.
1 at a time.
1 at a time, right. 1 at a time's a normal approach to a 4th. Got there. Yes. Anyway, 1 at a time's a normal approach to a 4-finger Kit Kat, isn't it, right? I gave this builder a 4-finger Kit Kat. He picked it up, put the whole thing in his mouth at once. Bit into it like he was eating a bun. Dirty ogre sugar bitch. What kind of animal is one popping a 4-finger Kit Kat?
I've made a list of pros and cons, because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. That doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. 1-all. I say increased, it's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house, each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that form the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer. Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. Be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? No, that'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
I failed 6 times in total, right? 6 times. Can anyone beat 6? There, 1 there. Good work. You didn't fail on reaction times, did you? Bang, you were in. No messing. Who passed first time? Where are you? There you are. Still a little bit smug about it, I see. Good work. I would do as well. It's horrible failing, especially when, you know, there's stuff in your driving test that you don't even need to do again. Like, I remember parallel parking. That shouldn't be in your test. I'm going, Jason, can you put your car between that red car and that blue car? I said, no, can't. I said, don't even live there, mate. You know what I mean? When's that going to come in useful? Do you know what I mean? I said, there's an NCP up there. I park there all day for you. I'm brilliant at it. Multi-storey parking, I've got some sort of gift. You know what I mean? Although there's one thing that can ruin your day with multi-storey parking, right? And I'll tell you what it is. It's little cars hiding, right? What they're doing, hiding behind big cars that from a distance look like a space. You think, oh, I've got one here, nice one. Oh, brilliant. Oh, bloody cheeky utensil. I remember he failed me. I remember I got to a junction. When don't you do this, right? I got to a junction, I looked right, I said, all right, your side? Straight fail. What's he sat there for if he's not going to help you out, you know what I mean? My wife, she passed first time. I was very proud of her, you know. Well done. I didn't shake her hand. I don't know why I did that. It's a very formal relationship we've got. Well done. Good night, darling. She passed first time, but she admitted to me afterwards she'd had a bit of a flirt. She'd wore a low-cut top and a short skirt, a bit of midriff, like, you know, showing. Oh, is that the gear stick? Sorry. Like, you know, proper went for it. The worst thing was, when I did that, that was another fail. I always wanted to learn how to drive like my dad, me. Dads are pretty good at driving, aren't they? They've got some sort of gift. Dads do stuff that nobody teaches you, right? You'll see a dad reversing. Nobody's taught him how to do this, right? But he's amazing at it. He puts his arm around the passenger seat like this, right? Nobody's taught him this. The examiner's not gone, we're going to do some reversing now. Have you got any kids? Yeah, I've got 2. Right. I'm going to show you how to properly do it. All right, so arm out like that. And my dad had used that because me and my brothers would be in the back. He'd need the back of his hand. Get your bloody heads down there, I can't see a thing. Wear a seatbelt. Wear a seatbelt. If you're not seeing that advert, you'll kill me as well. Right, it's proper mad, right? And then he'd reverse out of second gear, like out of a cul-de-sac and up an A-row without looking. It was amazing to see. And he shouldn't have even been driving, my dad, right? Because my dad's got narcolepsy, right? And I know. I laugh about it now because I'm still alive, right? But as a kid, it was terrifying. We go up to Blackpool on holiday, get in the middle lane of the motorway, you go, right, lads, if you hear this noise, wake me up. You shouldn't be using the rumble strips as an alarm clock, should you, at any point? Dad, hey, I'm only joking, just messing. We get up to Blackpool, you're like, I don't want to go on any rides, I'm all right, Dad, I'm fine. And it was a great disease for your dad to have as a kid, you know, growing up. We'd get away with all sorts when he was telling us off. Right, you three, I've had enough of this. You lot are grounded for a... Yeah, whatever, we'll do what we want, old man. He'd use it for his advantage, though. Sometimes if he'd be talking to someone and he was bored, like my mum would be going, anyway, so our Barbara says he's not going to get back with Derek because my dad would just go. And then we'd be playing on the floor, we'd look up and he'd look at us and go... He'd wake up half an hour after dinner with a plate full of carrots. How's this happened again? What's going on? Well, the worst trick we ever did, right, we only played it once and we shouldn't have done it, was... Remember one time he fell asleep on the chair in the living room. Me and my brothers, we went upstairs, changed our clothes, come down, pretend he'd missed the day.
People ask me all the time, so Rich, how did you end up becoming a comedian? And I always say, why do you say end up, like I made a mistake? It's kind of a polite conversation you have with a tramp. So fella, how'd you end up in a skip? It's the most fantastic job in the world, right? You make people laugh, you fella, with all that stress on your face. Look at you, sit in the front row trying to get the jokes before anyone else. How desperate are you for comedy, my friend? Well, you people, bricks put... Oh, I'm sorry. What? I wasn't expecting a response. Do you work?
I'm a student.
A student, all right. No more questions, Your Honor. It's very easy. No heavy lifting. Yeah? Why don't you think about being a comedian? What are you studying?
History.
History. That goes back a long time, doesn't it? Why don't you try American history? A couple 100 years. Boom, you're done. Listen, here's the thing, all right? You just say intelligent things stupidly. That's all there is to being a comedian. Or maybe it's stupid things intelligently. It's not rocket surgery. I'll tell you that right now. That's what I get asked all the time. So I bet you were the class clown. Were you the class clown? Screw you. Why would you suggest I took a childhood disorder and turned it into a career, you prick? No one ever says to a hooker, were you the class whore? I bet you were the class whore, weren't you? Let the mystery be. I love watching Brits snap. That is the greatest thing in the world. When a Brit snaps, you don't even know they've snapped. It's not like Americans who take out 8 or 9 people with a high-powered rifle because they're social animals. Brits snap and you go, 2 hours later thinking, I think that guy snapped while I was talking to him. At that point where he crushed the pint glass with his hand, he was a bit pissed off. That's why when it comes to a war on terror, something we invented, the war on terror, because Brits would never have a war on terrify, because what's not terrifying to Brits? Everything. They just don't show it, right? Brit, you've had giants plucking your daughters out of villages a couple thousand years ago. Look that one up, history boy. It's true. So the basic British reaction to anything terrifying is this. How much is this going to cost? You can't really terrify. That's why I'm pretty sure the war, the whole terrorism thing, I think the terrorists have just kind of given up on Britain, because what can they possibly do, right? Listen, I would never compare the scopes of tragedy of, say, the World Trade Center to the bombs that blew up in London, but the reaction is completely different, right? America still has this entire culture of fear about terrorism. It's basically manifests itself by terror alerts being scrolled across the bottom of the TV screen by color. No explanation whatsoever. Just today's terror alert is orange. Now back to our show. Oh, what the hell was that? What does that mean? Orange, that's hunting accidents, roadworks, right? That's not good. It means be very, very aware of terror. So dwell on it now and then. Whereas in Britain, they blow up the buses in London, next day people are back at the bus stop waiting for the bus, right? And complaining about it because they're Brits. Bus is late. I mean, it's late. The one yesterday blew up. Yeah, well, that was yesterday. Today's today. I live in the present and the bus is late. That's why when you watch a Brit snap, right, you got to get really close to them. They'll pick a high street and just corkscrew for a while. That's... Not even knowing what direction to... What direction is corkscrew anyway? This is bullshit. And then you get too close and then you get sucked into the vortex, right? Are you okay? That moment when a Brit truly snaps and it looks like this. I'm going to write a letter. That's it. I've been pushed to the brink, you bastard. Nobody treats me like this, you son of a bitch. Huh? I'm not emailing this, I'm writing this. Wait till you get that tomorrow. Big red pillar box right in the mail. Postal strike.
We have a great show for you tonight. We have a fantastic show. Very funny comedians. I know funny. I do very funny. People always ask me who I think is funny. That's the number 2 question I get asked as a comedian. The number 1 question I get asked as a comedian is, have you ever died? As soon as you tell someone you're a comedian, first thing they want to know, oh, you ever died? Oh, what's it like when no one laughs? Oh, tell us about the worst gig you've ever had in your life. Please, relive for me, in minute detail, the worst moment of your professional career. Have you ever really died? It's like saying to a doctor, tell us about the last patient you lost. What happened? Were the family crying? I bet they were they? Yeah. People are such ghouls. It's the number 1 question. Have you ever died? Number 2 question, though, is what makes you laugh? People always want to know that from me. Who do you think is funny? And that's a nicer question. That's more understandable. You know, I make people laugh. People want to know what makes me laugh. In the same ways you might say to your hairdresser, who cuts your hair? Or you might say to someone in an Audi, who do you think drives like a cock? Same kind of thing. I like that joke. It's a short joke, it's a sharp joke, and also with that joke, I get to spot every Audi driver in the room. I can just see it there. Pinched expression on your face there. All right, no need to be like that about it. I've done well for myself. It's a very reliable machine. And the fact that I can tell you're an Audi driver by the expression on your face means technically you've just given a form of indication. So well done. Good for you. Who knew you could do it? Yeah. Have you ever died? Who do you think is funny? You always get asked the same questions. That's why I don't like doing interviews. I love doing this job. This is great. I love standing here talking to you, though. But doing interviews, it's a necessary evil. It's part of the job. I having to answer questions. And I don't even like watching interviews. You'd rather watch a comedian tell jokes than talk about how they wrote them. You'd rather watch a singer sing songs than talk about their inspiration. You'd rather watch a sports person do their sport. You'd certainly rather watch a sports person do their sport. Come on now. Sports interviews can be turgid affairs at best. And then I hit it with my foot. You mean you kicked it? If you like. They're rarely interesting. They're rarely, and I'm not slagging sports people. It takes a great deal of single-mindedness to excel at a sport to a point where people want to interview you about it. But sports people are famous because they're good at sport, not because they're good at talking about sport. That's why you find a sports person who is good at talking about sport, the BBC will cream their knickers over them. We found a woman. She used to ride horses. That's a sport. And she's quite lively and engaging and charismatic. Put her on absolutely everything! Do not let her out of your sight. Even people I'm a fan of. Andy Murray. I love Andy Murray. Britain should be very proud of Andy Murray. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon. He's an Olympic gold medalist. And he put up with a lot of shit when he was only, 8th best in the world? Oh, you bloody loser, you. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon, he's Olympic gold medalist, he's magnanimous in victory, he's humble in defeat. And he's a big comedy fan. He's been to see me live, I've met him, lovely bloke. But Jesus Christ. I'm not listening to him drone on one more time about how he won, stroke lost another tennis match. I can't do it. Well, then I hit it to him, and he hit it back to me, and I'm very good at tennis, but he is also very good at tennis. Some days I'm better at tennis than he is, but I think what's happened today was he was slightly better at tennis than I am, and that's maybe why he won the game of the tennis. Oh, for God's sake, man! I'm not very sporty, you can probably tell. I like hill walking. Doesn't really count as a sport. I like hill walking and camping. Proper camping, though. None of your glamping bullshit. Glamping. Derivation of the words glamorous and camping, where you stay in a yurt, which is more expensive than a hotel. What is wrong with you? A lot of people don't realise yurt is a derivation of the words yura and twat. A lot of people don't realise that.
I've made a list of pros and cons, because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. Well, it doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. Bang, 1-1. I say increased, it's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house. Each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that form the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer. Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. It'd be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
This year, I did no lilt February. Thank you. I know, it sounds impossible, but you take it one day at a time. Did I have any today? No, you're a legend. Get hard around the middle of the month, you get the cravings. It's called lilt guilt. You're like, oh, I bloody love the lilt. It's the night where you go to the shop at midnight, you kick the doors in, where's the lilt? And they're like, we don't stock it anymore. Like, ah! So you try and make your own hooch lilt, you know, you get a pineapple and a grapefruit, and you add in batteries and a horse's head, and you're like, it's good, but it's not totally tropical. Did that joke in America recently. Turns out they don't have lilt there. This is all I do. Imagine if this was your actual, I go like blah, 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 and you go, ah, ha, 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 money. Can't believe I get away with it. You do actual, proper London jobs. You know, like blacksmith, you know? Farrier. Brunch DJ, the big 3. I tell you, I do not trust people who work in offices. I know, right? What are they doing? Nothing takes that long. They're planning something. They must be. Do you know? Do you ever call in to visit your friend in an office unexpectedly? Everyone just shits themselves. They're like, what's he doing here? Cover the screen, lie across the spreadsheet, get him out. Kind regards, warm regards, best. That's how they talk. I've seen the email. I know what it's like in the real world. Look, sometimes I check in your world. Oh, gross, back to showbiz. And... No, I'm very self-aware of the level of fame that I have. I was in a supermarket recently, and an older lady came up to me, and she put her hands on my shoulders, and she said, "You are vaguely familiar." And that is it. I did a gig in Wrexham, and I was at an ATM machine, and a guy cycled by, and he shouted at me, "Surprised to see you at an ATM machine." And I've been obsessed with it since then. What did he mean? Like, on the one hand, is he surprised I don't have a butler to go to the ATM machine for? No, I think it's the opposite. I think I'm surprised you have any money whatsoever doing keyboard horse shit. Here's my greatest ever showbiz tale. I did a gig in your Milton Keynes recently, thank you, and I was staying in the Milton Keynes Hilton, and she is the least well-known of all the Hilton sisters. And I checked in after the gig at like 12:30. Room 303 is where this took place. Open the door, TV on in the room. Not that uncommon in the chain hotels. I guess it's to welcome you. But get this, on the TV is me playing the shitty keyboard on some show. Immediate thought is like, is this a service they provide to all guests? If so, no, it's the realization, this is it. I've arrived, and I waltz into the room, down the little corridor with the loo away to the left, and as the room opens out, there is a fully naked man lying on the bed. So they've given me the key to someone else's room, but he is lying there, watching me on the TV, and he looks up. To think of something smart. What I say is like, "Oh, shit, sorry about it." I could have said anything and I'd be a legend. I could have been like, "Oh, there, you enjoying this? Ah, no boner," and just walked out of it.
I have realised that the musician I want to be is the drummer from Coldplay. I want to be the drummer from Coldplay so badly because that dude is rich as shit and no one knows who the fuck he is. No one knows who the drummer from Coldplay is. He could be here and no one would know. It could be you, it could be you, it could be you. I'm not sure it's an Indian woman, but it could be. We don't know. I'm obsessed with the idea that this guy has the best life in the world. And I was telling my friend about this, and she tried to tell me something that she was trying to portray as a bad thing. Apparently, he loves Game of Thrones, so he said to HBO, "Can I be in Game of Thrones?" And they were like, "Yeah, man, you're the drummer from Coldplay. You can do literally anything you want. We'll restart The Sopranos if that's something that will make you happy, right?" Now, he is in Game of Thrones. Confession time, I don't watch Game of Thrones, but even I know the Red Wedding is an important episode of Game of Thrones, right? He is in the Red Wedding. Guess what he is doing in the Red Wedding? He is the drummer in the wedding band. That is the extent to which this guy's anonymity is a borderline superpower. He is in the most famous episode of one of the most popular television shows in the world, doing the thing he is famous for, and no one noticed. That is Kaiser Soze shit. And my friend was telling me that she read a supposedly embarrassing story that one of the actors told. One of the actors said that when they were shooting The Red Wedding, he was making small talk with the extras, and he got round to the drummer from Coldplay and said, "Are you a full-time extra?" And the guy was like, "No, I'm a musician." So he said, to the drummer from Coldplay, "Have you played on anything I might have heard of?" To which the drummer from Coldplay was presumably like, "Have you heard of All Music?" Because I'm basically the drummer on All Music. And my friend tried to tell me this, like this was a sad thing. She was like, "Oh, this guy's in Coldplay, but no one knows that he's in Coldplay. Isn't that sad?" No, because the problem with being in Coldplay is that people hate Coldplay. People hate Coldplay so much. And the people who hate Coldplay don't say things like, "Oh, it's not to my taste." They say things like this, "I hate Coldplay!" But what you mean when you say that is, "I hate Chris Martin." No one is angry with the drummer from Coldplay. No one has ever been like, oh, the drummer from Coldplay! He ruined my life! And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Nish, why are you so obsessed with the drummer from Coldplay? There's 2 other people in that band. We don't know anything about them either. And you know what? You're right. There's a guitar player and a bassist in Coldplay. I wouldn't know them even if they were here. I assume it's you two, but only because they sat next to her and I spoke to her already. That's all I've got to go on at this point. They have the exact same life as the drummer, because I did a bit of research into this. Turns out Coldplay are one of those bands where they split the royalties equally. So they have the exact same life as the drummer, apart from one detail. They have the exact same life as the drummer. They have the same level of wealth, access, and anonymity. But crucially, the drummer is sat down. And that is the dream.
Do you love London? I love London. I feel like London is created by the people, right? Who are just crazy and sexy and ambitious. I got into an Uber the other day, not bragging, and I got into an Uber and the driver, he said, would you like to have the radio on? And I was like, oh, I don't mind, it's up to you. And then he said, well, actually, I make my own music. Do you mind if I put some of that on? No, I don't. And then he put on Drake's new album. I wonder how often it works. I wonder how often there's a middle-aged white woman thinking, oh, well, he looks like Aladdin and he sounds like confidence personified. Pull over and jump in the back, Nikolai. I'm having a good life. I have recently started doing yoga, which is just change. Yes, woo for the yoga over there. Are you a team? I'm new to it. I love it. Yoga has changed my life. It's brilliant. Yoga is my new drug. My old drug was drugs. Which I'm not going to say anything positive about because it would be incredibly irresponsible. I'm not going to say anything positive about drug taking. What I will say is I didn't take MDMA until I was 32, and it was such a relief to know I could be happy. Just assume the equipment's broken. But yoga is nearly as good, and there's no downsides. It's given me a whole new language. My favourite new word is namaste. Yeah, it's a very old word, it's very sacred, and it means the yoga has finished now. And then you're allowed to leave. I think that the key to being happy as you get older is self-acceptance. Like, I have to accept things about myself now. Like, I'm 36, I thought I would have children by now, and I don't. In an ideal world, what I wanted to self-fertilise. I wanted to have children that were exactly my genetics so that I could show them to my parents and go, see, it was my childhood, they're fine. Science can't do that yet. And then I had a crazy day last month where I just thought, I'm just going to buy some sperm. I'm just going to buy some sperm off the internet. I've got a good job. I'm just going to buy some sperm. Guys, sperm is so much more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It is tens of thousands of pounds. We are all wasting a valuable resource. 17-year-old me would have been a millionaire if I'd learned how to catch it and chuck it in the freezer. It's a shock. I do think self-acceptance is the key. Like, there's things about myself I don't like, but I just have to accept now that they're not going to change. This is who I am. Like, so for instance, I don't like art. I think art is rubbish. I think lots of people think art is rubbish, but we're too worried of looking stupid, so we go along with it. I think that the worst art form is theatre. Right, okay, I can sense how unpopular this opinion is. Hear me out. I think theatre is diabolical. Look, I do, look, and also, I'm aware, if you are a performer of some kind, if you're an actor, look, please don't be offended. I don't mean being in the play. Obviously, if you're the person in the play that gets to put a wig on and walk up and down and move your arms and project your voice, saying things like, I think you'll find you're contradicting yourself, Alan. Fun. Having to watch it. Dear Christ. I can't concentrate. I can't lose myself in the story. I know that it's not real because I'm surrounded by people eating crisps. And they don't let you look at your phone. So all you're thinking is, well, how long has it been?
Whenever I talk about my Prosecco punch, there's always a very specific laugh in the audience. I've learned to recognise it. It's just over there tonight. It's this. And I know what it is now. That is the laugh of a thin yoga woman. And I know what the laugh means. The laugh is like, that's funny, but I'd kill myself if I looked like you. But I promise you, there's advantages to having a Prosecco punch. Make some noise if you got one. 2 female will laugh for the bodies in the room. Don't be shy, lads. I can see you. It's quite well lit. Let's try that again. We're all being honest about ourselves. Give us a cheer if you got a Prosecco punch. Boys, boys, boys. The thing is, if you have a Prosecco punch, there are advantages to it, right? 2 main ones I can think of. Number 1, I don't want to be crude, but I can take some hammer. Yeah, it's true. I can give you a list of names that can attest to that as well. Not surnames. Now, the other thing is my Prosecco punch always gives me the greatest slice of joy, right? You know those 3 incredibly hot days we get that we pass off as the summer, right? I absolutely love those because that's when I get all my tanning done. I'm taking it very seriously. I go and get a chair from the kitchen. I go and put it slap bang in the middle of my garden, right? Because all the sun hits there. I've not got outdoor furniture. I'm not a Tory. So I pop it there. And then I get as naked as is legally possible. So I've got full spaniel's ears out. Smallest knickers I can find. You might be worrying about me now, because this is obviously filmed in London. I live in the countryside. I've not really got neighbours. I've got one lad who can see into my garden. He's depressed. He's not looking out his window for 3 weeks. We're fine, right? I also get very precious when I'm doing my tanning, right? Very precious. So what I'll do is I roll my knickers down as small as I can get them, because I'm like, I don't want tan lines, actually. I don't want tan lines. I've got a bush like a badger, but I don't want tan lines. It's got TB. I don't want tan lines. I'm not allowed near cows. So I lie there, drinking it in, and as I lie there, think to myself, you know what? I am going to get up, and I am going to go to the freezer, and I am going to treat myself to a 3rd Magnum of the day. Because I'm a special princess, and I do deserve it. Thank you. For all the people who are allowed ice cream up there in that one section. Lactose intolerant in the stalls. Closer to the toilets, it makes sense. So I'll decide I'm going to treat myself to that Magnum. And then I'll wait another 40 minutes till I can actually be asked to get up and get it. And then when I get up and get it, this is where my Prosecco punch really steps up. Because as I stand up, I will hear the sound of my own gunt peeling off the top of my own leg. Yeah, don't go, don't pretend you're not turned on. It's embarrassing. It's an incredible noise. It's like this. That's my mating call. It is. I just see a row of bald heads along the fence like that. Just divorced dads who are like, is that low self-esteem I can hear? Do you want to come to Pizza Hut and be a mum for 2 hours?
Put my name in the internet the other day. Oh, I wish I'd never bothered. I'm on a website, 20 celebrities I'd like to punch.com. Madonna, J-Lo, Tom Cruise, and then me. I'm the only one who can't afford a fucking bodyguard. J-Lo ain't gonna get trotted outside Morrison's, as you know, it'd be me. Have you seen me fight? I can't fight. It's a cross between river dance and a doggy paddle. I'm like, yeah. If it can go wrong, anything will with me. Honestly, I just attract bad luck. How many people do you know can get sexually assaulted on a Jack the Ripper walk? I thought it it was part of the experience. Oh, Jack, your hands are cold. Now, honestly, if you look like a victim, you get treated like a victim, don't you, sir? Yeah. Your life's been shit. No, I mean, that's like when I went and got me glasses. I had the afternoon off school. He comes in with these glasses, honestly, that thick. That thick. I said, I can't see the board, not the pennines. You can see the future. You can see the future. I was telling him and the lottery numbers. 5, 48, 9. No, it's horrible when you lose your sight. It's horrible. I was on the train the other day. They've got Braille now in the toilets in the train. Braille. So if a blind person couldn't smell, that was a fucking toilet. They're hardly going to go, buffet car? They got a baby changing unit in Braille now. Baby changing unit. Blind person changing a baby on a train in a toilet. What could possibly go wrong? Let's make it interesting. Pop some roller skates on. My dad's still not pleased that I'm doing this job. Oh, he's not happy. My parents, they're pushy parents, but they're not like pushy as those parents you get on, you know, Britain's Got Talent or Stars in Your Eyes Kids. Those parents are too pushy, aren't they? You know, when the door opens and the smoke clears, you can see the parents' foot saying, get on that fucking... The little kid's trembling at the back going, who the hell's Patsy? Crazy. God. The worst thing for me was being picked for the team. That was awful. Do you remember standing in line waiting to get picked? It's like ethnic cleansing, weren't it? All the fit and healthy people at one end. Me and the fat kids. Those kids were fat. One girl had to be cut out of a hula hoop. The bullies, they nicked me kit. Nicked me kit. I had to go to Lost Property Box. Do you remember the smell from Lost Property Box? Those clothes weren't lost. No one loses the clothes in that box. They're just clothes that Africa had sent back. Getting their own back for Harvest Festival. That's what they were doing. Then we had to send food over to Africa. What did my mum send? Pineapple chunks and peach slices. They grow them over there!
My wife and I have decided we don't want children. If anybody does, we can drop them off tomorrow. The fat one has asthma. Is that even good? No, we have a beautiful old girl who we named after my mom. In fact, passive-aggressive psycho turns 5 tomorrow. Hey, should lesbians be allowed to use dildos? They made their choice. I am happily married, that's why I'm wearing the ring. Ooh. Oh, it must have fallen off in that hooker's ass. What am I like? Anybody that's married knows what I'm talking about when I say this, that you really find out about someone after you marry them. Like, for example, my wife doesn't have a peanut allergy. No, it turns out she has a penis. That's it, she has a penis. My father was a man of few words. I remember he used to say to me, son, get your trunks, we're going to the library. I was addicted to rolling around in pig shit. I've been clean for 2 years now. No, I seldom do drugs. I've only done ketamine. doctor thinks I'm taking hallucinogenic drugs. How do I know? Let's just say a little bird told me. My therapist says I have a preoccupation with vengeance. We'll see about that. Another therapist says that I have an overactive imagination, or something to that effect. I was distracted by the tap-dancing chipmunks on his water cooler. Yes, doctor. I understand, doctor.
T for two, for two, for tea, me, for you, and you, for me.
OMG, that is so cute. Do another song, would ya?
Okay. Me and my shadow strolling down the Scoop, scoop, scoopy dee 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 dee.
I was called immature today by my smelly wife. So I spit on her. And now I'm
Lonely. I'm Mr. Lonely. I have nobody for my own.
Three of you recognized it. That was a tough note. Some of you are looking at me thinking, is this shit funny in Canada? No, it's not. That's why I'm here. Receiving oral sex from an ugly person is like rock climbing. You should never look down. Sir? You guys have been amazing. Thank you very much, everyone.
I was such a fat kid. My mother used to buy bathing suits with blowholes in them. It was just... But my parents... I don't want to go into my childhood here because it's wrong. My parents hated me, okay? We're all going to hear the story, aren't we? Well, my parents hated me too. My parents... All I ever heard growing up is, why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Sheila had died at birth. They just... Whenever we would go like in front of a street, each parent would take my hand, hold our hand, we're crossing the street, and then they'd swing me into the traffic. They used to say, take candy from strangers. Ask the funny man in the raincoat, does he own a van? No, I had a very bad childhood, and that's because, and I'm sure none of you give a damn, but I was the only Jewish kid, this is the absolute truth, growing up in an all-Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's? The Irish people. Only Jewish kid in a Catholic neighborhood. You know what that's like? You were all doing Hail Marys, I was doing Hail Murrays. I mean, it was just... No Christmas tree? No Christmas tree. Do you know what that's like when you're the only kid without a Christmas? Because everybody has Christmas trees. And nowadays, it's like, well, we do it for all faiths. That's such bullshit. Yeah, we walk into an office building, and there's a Christmas tree, and there's a menorah. Bullshit. The Christmas tree goes up, 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 up. There's like a little shitty menorah with 2 orange lights that some angry Puerto Ricans lit backwards. I mean, yes. Juan, you lit those lights backwards. Fuck you, you killed our Lord. I mean, it is just... So, I'm at the age where I figure, screw it, I'm gonna have a Christmas tree. I got the biggest Christmas tree I got a 2-story high Christmas tree. I put everything you could think of on that. Up, 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 gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. On the bottom, I got the manger. I got the whole goddamn thing going there, the wise men, the sheep. The only thing is, I have the baby, but I'm Jewish. I got him a nanny. It was just, oh yes. And I redressed Mary. She didn't look good. That stupid thing over her head, come on. I put her in a Chanel suit, Manolo Blahniks, and a Louis Vuitton pocketbook. You're the mother of God. Look it. It is just... If she had looked like that, she would have gotten into the inn. Yes. The point is, it's about looks. Mary, she looked good, she would have done better. Mother Teresa, oh, don't give me, oh. Mother Teresa, if she had looked better, she'd be a saint by now. Was she a bow wow? Yes. Did she need electrolysis? Let's talk to each other here. Even lepers were throwing their fingers at her. Here, get away. Because it is all about looks. This is my message, Great Britain. This is my message. Looks count. Education, looks count. I have no sex appeal, and it has screwed me up for life. Peeping Toms look in my window, pull down the shade. You have no idea. My gynecologist examines me by telephone. It is just...
My daughter and I were really close. I took her out for some festive cocktails last week, and we went to one of those lovely fancy sky bars down on the south bank of the Thames. And as we were queuing to get in, they were doing very, very thorough bag checks on the door. My daughter's face just fell, and she said, Mum, they won't suspect you. Can you put my weed in your pocket? Oh, that's a bit's gone wrong here, hasn't it? Can you put my weed in your pocket, please? And where was I going to put my cocaine? But we got in, we had the most wonderful night, and we kept getting free cocktails. There was a very, very good-looking young waiter, wouldn't let us pay for a single thing. At the end of the night, that waiter came over, he bent down, he said to my daughter, he said, if you weren't here, I'd take your mum home with me. I couldn't believe how long it took to get an Uber for my daughter. It was... So I found this thing online that can best be described as a menopause magnet, right? I don't mean George Clooney. This is literally a magnetic device to help a woman through the menopause. This thing arrived in the post. It said it would help me with my mood swings and my hot flushes. And what you do is, I know this sounds weird, sir, right? But what you do is, you put a magnet on the front of your knickers, you put a metal disc on the inside of your knickers. It keeps the magnet securely and discreetly in place. And that bit works so beautifully. But what they don't tell you on the menopause magnet packaging is when it is tucked neatly and very discreetly in your pants, distinct possibility you will find yourself metallically attached to the self-checkout in Waitrose. The unexpected item in the bagging area. I just rang it through as a butternut squash and I pissed off. I felt so stupid. The week before, I'd spent a whole 10 minutes attached to my tumble dryer. I mean, it was a very nice 10 minutes if I'm... It took me so long to decorate the tree this year. All the baubles kept getting stuck in my pubic triangle. I've still got at least one novelty Santa down there. But no, they're really powerful magnets. Honestly, so if you've got any metal fillings, I'd shimmy back a bit and shut your mouth. A pandemic was no place for a menopausal woman, right? Do you remember when they were taking your temperatures everywhere before you could get in? We were only ever one hot flush away from getting fully cancelled. It was... I remember the last time it happened so clearly. I was out with a friend, we were trying to just get a pizza, and they were taking temperatures on the door, and the guy took mine, and he looked at me, he said, there's a problem. And I said, what do you mean there's a problem? He said, I'm really sorry, there is a problem. And I said, am I a little bit overheated? That's funny, because I'm a 50-year-old woman. I've just spent an hour and a quarter on the Northern Line wearing a mask, and I raised 2 children single-handedly. I gave birth to them with no pain relief while their dad complained his back was hurting, and I haven't had a good night's sleep in about 2 years because of my anxiety, my irrational crying, and my vaginal dryness. I don't know what my body's doing. It should send the tears down there. That's where I really need them, and I am attached to your fire extinguisher by my pants. Turned out The problem was with the card machine. You had to pay on the app, so...
That has done me the world of good. Thank you for that. Because I was waiting back there behind the big billboard, absolutely terrified. I'm not a natural performer. I'm not, although I have been doing this talk around the country for about 2 months now. I won't lie to you, it's not been going very well. I think the worst one was Folkestone. I have never seen an audience turn so quickly. Rushing at the stage, anger in their faces. Refund! Refund! It was horrific. I'll try and paint a picture for you. Youngsters will know what I'm talking about. Are there any youngsters in the... You can relax, sir. Well, oh, there's a youngster. What is your name, sir?
Riyadh.
What's that?
Riyadh.
Riyadh. What?
Riyadh with a Z.
Riyadh with a Z. All right, it's not Sesame Street. Riyadh, how old are you?
18.
18? Shouldn't you be wearing a hooded top? Get out of my shopping centre! Riyadh. Don't laugh at Riyadh, please. You'll know what I mean, Riyadh, when I talk about stage diving. Are you familiar? You won't know what I'm talking about, sir, but this is when a rock star, like a Kurt Cobain or a Duncan from Blue, they run and they leap, and you're right to be afraid, you're right to be afraid. They leap onto the audience, Riyadh. It's terrifying. The audience grab hold of them and manhandle them. Turning them around like that, all over the place. Terrifying. Now, what happened at Folkestone was almost a complete reversal of that. with people just rushing at the stage. It was appalling. But I don't think we're going to have a repeat of that tonight. I don't. Because I'm already getting a lot of warmth from you. I am. To quote the great Darius Danesh, there's a lot of love in the room. There is. And a wide range. We've got Riyadh with a Z. No one can take that away from you, Riyadh. I wouldn't try to. You'd whip out your hooded top and you'd happy slap me into submission. But it's a friendly crowd. We've got a proper... Look, here we go. Right down in the front, there's a chap here wearing a T-shirt with a slogan on it. Unbelievable. A grown man. What is your name, sir?
Chris.
Chris, with a Z? Riyadh, you're one up, you're ahead. I'll bet there aren't many other people in the whole building who have a Z in their name, in all honesty. Unless Zebedee's joined us tonight, which I think is unlikely. So you're a Chris.
Yes.
Chris. And what's the idea with the T-shirt, Chris? Is it Rag Week? We're here to talk about relationships. Let's crack straight on with the first slide. Making... Don't laugh at that. That's not meant to be funny, please. Let's not have another Folkestone on our hands, please. Making divorce work. Now, given that it is a rocky ride, an emotional roller coaster, I start off with a joke, ladies and gentlemen, just to loosen us up. Here it is. If you're going to get divorced, you have to be like the man in the toll booth. Why is that, Keith? Well, you have to be willing to accept, this is the joke, change. It's a zinger. When you divorce, there is sweeping change. Changes right across your life, in every area. One of the first things to change is the locks. You make a... Please don't laugh at that, please. You may come home one day and find that your key no longer fits your wife's lock. Another man's key is fitting your wife's lock. And stop that! Stop it! Stop! I'm stamping on that. Riaz, with a Z, please. Stop it. It's not that sort of a show. Well, I mean, it's not a show, is it? It's a talk. But it's not smutty. So you may come home and find that your key no longer fits the lock. Good. Yes, it can. And it can be very difficult to tell why a relationship is going to go wrong. Why is that? Well, I think it's because at the beginning of any relationship, when two people get together, there's always a sense of what? Hammersmith, at the beginning of a relationship, a sense of... Pardon? Worry. No. Anyone else? At the beginning of a relationship, a sense of... Foreboding. Foreboding is the wrong answer. Lust. No. Uncertainty. There's always a sense of uncertainty. A feeling of will they, won't they? And there's no way of... Please, Hammersmith, take it seriously. We're talking about emotions. A sense of will they, won't they? And there's no... Hammersmith, I will walk off the stage, please. There's no way of predicting when a couple get together whether or not the relationship will work. Will it last a long time? No. Not a chance in hell. Will they stick together? No. Will the marriage endure? Yes. Lee and Leslie. Now, Lee and Leslie are a lesson to us all. They've made a marriage work. So why is it then that when they can make a marriage work, so many others can't? Paul Simon said, there are 50 ways to leave your lover. 1. Hammersmith, time out. Please, start to take it seriously. 1. Slip out the back, Jack. 2. Make a new plan, Stan. And 48 others. I'm freaking out. So the head hangs there for about 10, 12 minutes. Finally, the midwife says, it's almost here. It's time. If your wife gives one more push, he'll arrive. So my wife went, yeah! Baby went, I put the TV to mute. And I leapt across the front room. And I caught him. And I was the first person to make contact with our son. It was a little boy out, and he was there in my hands, all warm and new. And it's one of the most overwhelming things you will ever do. And I tell you now, I was in pieces. I was in floods of tears. My wife was crying. The midwife was crying. And your mind just becomes a mush. I mean, to this day, I can't explain why I did what I did next. It was so emotional. Maybe it's because I'm Welsh, I don't know. But I went... Well, thank God we hadn't cut the cord. He shot back! It was Junior Bungee. He ended up lying on the floor with all this umbilical cord snaking around the room back to his mother, yards of it. I thought, what the hell do we do now? I needn't have worried. Calm as a cucumber, the midwife walked over to my wife. She put her left foot on my wife's right foot and pressed hard. And just like a Hoover, the cord went... And that's why we called him Henry.
I've made a list of pros and cons, because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. It doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. Bang, 1-1. I say increased, it's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house. Each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that form the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer, isn't it? Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. It'd be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
I'm freaking out. So the head hangs there for about 10, 12 minutes. Finally, the midwife says, it's almost here. It's time. If your wife gives one more push, he'll arrive. So my wife went, yeah! Baby went, I put the TV to mute. And I leapt across the front room. And I caught him. And I was the first person to make contact with our son. He was a little boy out, and he was there in my hands, all warm and new. And it's one of the most overwhelming things you will ever do. And I tell you now, I was in pieces. I was in floods of tears. My wife was crying. The midwife was crying. And your mind just becomes a mush. I mean, to this day, I can't explain why I did what I did next. It was so emotional. Maybe it's because I'm Welsh, I don't know. But I went... Well, thank God we hadn't cut the cord. He shot back! It was Junior Bungee. He ended up lying on the floor with all this umbilical cord snaking around the room back to his mother, yards of it. I thought, what the hell do we do now? I needn't have worried. Calm as a cucumber, the midwife walked over to my wife. She put her left foot on my wife's right foot and pressed hard. And just like a Hoover, the cord went... And that's why we called him Henry.
All of the parenting stresses me out, all of it. Like right from the beginning, when you're pregnant, you've got to think of a name for your kid. You're like, right, we're going to have to name it. That's tradition. Going to have to give it a name. And it's hard to think of a name for a kid because that's their name. That's going to be their name all their life if it pans out. And I'm an indecisive person. I struggle to think of passwords for websites, and you get help for that, don't you? Like, oh no, weak. And names go in and out of fashion, don't they? Some names, they can be in fashion, but they don't come back in. We all know those names. And I tell you a thing that's back in fashion now, and I find it fascinating, is virtue names, right? That is back in fashion, those virtue names. It's a sort of Victorian notion that if you name your kid after a virtue, they might live up to that virtue. But that's risky business, isn't it? That's hubris. I wouldn't risk it. You could call your son Victor. He could end up a bit of a loser. Ernest, he could become a bullshitter. Grace is an ever-popular name. I wouldn't risk it. You could call your daughter Grace. She could end up a sort of galumphing oaf. Sacking her head on low beams. Falling into crockery at dinner parties. You'd be like, oh, come on, Grace. Do your laces up, babe. Stop farting. Prudent, she'll end up lip deep in debt, won't she? Chastity. Although my son is called Frank. Someone said to me, you've done it, innit? You've called your son Frank. That's a virtue. To be honest, to be above board, to be trustworthy. I was like, oh, shit, never thought of that. Could end up an estate agent now, isn't he? He's funny, Frank. I think he's funny. I would say that, wouldn't I? Because I'm his mum. He's not funny. My child's funny. Tell a joke. Look at 774 pictures of my child. But I think he's funny, right? I went to pick him up from school the other day. I pick him up every day because they get proper arsey if you don't. They do. They ring you. They're like, where are you? I'm like, TK Maxx, where are you? Oh, all right then, yeah. So, yes, I went to pick him up from school. And I was late, and I wasn't being very laid back that day. I was running a bit late, a bit stressed. I had my eldest with me. I had my mate's 2 kids that were coming back for tea. I thought we'd just get him and go. He's in reception. I was like, right, we'll just get off, yeah? But the teacher stopped me. She went, can you wait, actually? Can we have a quick chat? In that, voice. So I had to arrange my face into one of those mum pretending to give a shit faces. I said, go on, what's he done? She said, do you want to tell Mummy what you did today, Frank, or shall I tell Mummy? He's got upset now. He's like, you tell Mummy. I'm like, what's he done? What? She said, look, today, Frank stuck a digit up the teaching assistant's bottom. That's not ideal, is it? It's very difficult to know what to do with your face. I was going through all the faces in my phone. She said, we've talked about bodies, haven't we, Frank? And areas of bodies that we respect. I thought now would be a really bad time to go, This is awful. I mean, this is a finger up the TA's... I mean, this is now they're teaching numeracy in primary education now. It's not like, oh, if Frank's got one finger up the TA's arse, how many fingers are still on the outside?
Liverpool has a strange relationship with Manchester as well. Is anybody in from Liverpool? All right, thought we might have priced you out. Not to worry. I love Liverpool. It's a beautiful city. And I remember when I first went over there, I support Manchester City, right? That's my football team. And I remember going over there in my Manchester City shirt, and I stopped this bloke at the train station. I said, listen, mate, I'm a bit lost. I'm trying to find the docks. Can you help us out? And he turned around and he went... Which is a word in Liverpool, right? Honestly, right? It means you're not welcome, right? You pick it up quick enough, right? Eventually he got to some sound, he went, eh! Because they're naturally witty, they're born with that, right? He said, what are you doing over there in Liverpool? I love him. I do. Now, at that stage, you're tempted to say calm down, but that makes things worse, right? You don't like that. I was very brave, though. I looked in the eye and said, listen, I asked you for directions officer. You are bang out of order, mate. Keep it down with it. But football, you know, has that problem, doesn't it? There's a lot of cities hate each other just because of the football. You know, I support City, and obviously Manchester United is our nearest club. And we've got any United fans in? Of course we have. We're in Hammersmith. There's always a United fan. Every gig I do, there's a United fan. They're like rats. You're only ever 3 metres away from one of the bastards. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go is a red. I love football, but I'm getting to this stage where I'm starting to dislike footballers. I don't know if anyone else has this problem, right? But these like multi-millionaires running around the pitch, you know, every 5 minutes. I've hurt myself. There was a bloke a few weeks back, he missed 3 Premiership games with a dead leg, right? Now, that's not an injury, is it, a dead leg, right? When I was a kid, I had 3 dead legs in one day once, right? And that was for free. I still have to do PE and walk home. That's not an injury, mate. My granddad's favourite footballer was a German goalkeeper called Bert Trautmann, right? Now, in the 1956 FA Cup finals, does anyone know what happened to old Bert? He broke his neck. Look at you like the quiz team. Bang, straight in, no messing about. Good work. He broke his neck and carried on playing, right? That's how hard they were in the 50s. The metatarsal, not even invented in 1956. He just got up, carried on diving about with a wobbly head, right? Not bothered. Not bothered. Not these days. It's the fans keep shouting nasty things at us. Me up. It's right, isn't it? And I'm there in the crowd watching, thinking, do you know what? You're on 60 grand a week. If I think you're a knobhead, I'll tell you, right? And that's the way it should work, because if I was on that sort of money, I'd take it as well. Do you know what I mean? I'd stay an extra half hour at the end of the game just to take it. You're a knobhead? Yeah, I don't know. See you next week, lads. God bless. Take care. Your mum's a knobhead. Yeah, but you should see her house. See you later. Who's the winner?
I saw a guy masturbating on the bus, and that wasn't the weird part. The weird part was he looked bored. If you're bored masturbating on a bus, life is over. If you can't enjoy masturbating on a bus, what's the chance you're gonna enjoy a sunset? This woman got on the bus, this older woman, and me and older women have a weird relationship. So this old lady sat down next to me, and I'm thinking, oh, shit. And she turned to me and she went, excuse me, sir, do you mind if I pray over you? And I went, yes. I mind that very much because we're on the night bus. Your God is not here. And she went, well, I'm gonna do it anyway. And I went, yeah, I thought so. So she started speaking in tongues over me, telling Satan to leave my body, which I was flattered. I got Satan. I got the big dog himself. That feels good. Right? Which, by the way, if you're ever riding a night bus, do it with some lady casting demons out of you. Because no one bothers you. Right? So she did that for 10 minutes, non-stop, speaking tongues over me. And then her bus stop came. So she rang the bell to get off, which is the most fucked up part of the story. Because if you think about it, this lady believes, she truly believes she has the power, the cosmic power to cast demons out of me. She believes that. But she also believes her bus stop is more important. She left and I just shouted, come back! You're not done yet! The man behind me shouted, yeah, and I almost came.
I read this thing, right, online, so it must be true, where everyone who's under the age of 30 is going to live till 160. Like, you look tired now. 160? I don't want to be sat in a flat, leaking, liver spotted. Your ears and nose, they never stop growing. I'm going to be sat there looking like I work at bloody Gringotts Bank, just like, And I think if I get to 160, I'm ending it. I don't know how you do it. What are you going to do? Sort of suffocate yourself with a bag for life? I reckon the best way, and maybe like a toaster in a bath situation, but it'd be one of those like sit-down baths with a chair and a door, and then you have to wait for it all to fill up. You put in a bit of matey for a last bit of luxury, and then you go, oh shit, I forgot the toaster, and then you have to wait for it all to drain. You open the door, you go out onto the landing, down a stair lift, into the kitchen, you go, what the bloody hell have I come in here for? It's never going to happen. I'm trying to do more nice things, though. That's what I'm trying to do. Because I've never really done anything with my life. I did a thing recently. I went to go and give blood for the first time. Has anyone ever done that? It's just one woman like, yeah, I did it today. It's amazing, but I thought you did it in like a hospital or like a sanitised medical centre. You don't. You do it in like a rugby club or like a methadone church, right? I turned up to this bingo hall near my nan's house, right? I was greeted by the second moodiest person I've ever seen in my life. It was a woman called Linda. Like, her name badge said Jean, but she looked like a Linda. Do you know what I mean? Like short bob, gelled fringe, good at darts. She weren't happy. She weren't. I turned up, she goes, have you got an appointment? And I went, no. And she goes, have you filled out a form? And I went, no. And then she threw this form at me, and as I'm walking off, she goes, thank you very much for giving blood. We really appreciate it. Giving blood is the greatest gift anyone could ever receive. And I'm thinking, Linda's never been given a slow cooker. So, take this form, I start filling it out. I had to use this woman's eyeliner because Linda wouldn't lend me a pen. Just filling it all out. And as I said, the only reason I went to go and give blood is make myself feel like I'd done something with my life. And instead, I'm faced with all these very serious adult questions. It was things like, have you ever been to Africa? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a man? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a prostitute? And I thought, I've done fucking nothing with my life. Nothing. Have you injected drugs? Have you smoked drugs? Have you had any treatments in the last 6 months? I panicked. I went, oh, well, me and my mum have had facials off Groupon. Not the right answer. Weirdest question, are you HIV positive? I was like, what? Like, no. Like, if anything, I'm against it. And then they took me off into this room, and there's all these sort of like Sharons and Johns lay on beds with sort of needles in their arms. Like, it looked like a spa day for smackheads. Put a belt round my arm, not even a nice belt. They spanked it a bit, they told me to relax, and then they whipped out the biggest flipping needle I've ever seen in my life, and I just fainted. Completely fainted. I can hear all these muffled voices, and then I can hear Linda's bellowing voice just going, I knew he'd be a fainter. I'm like... By the time I'd come around, all these people are trying to help me out, and Linda just parted them. And her way of trying to make me feel better, her way of trying to make me feel like a proper grown-up was going, would you like a glass of orange juice and a biscuit? I was like, no, Linda, I want to have sex with an African gay man for money. That's what I want to bloody do.
I've met some crazy people and with some crazy ideologies. One of the craziest people I met, and the funniest, were these guys called the Black Israelites. If you don't know the Black Israelites, right, it's a group of black dudes in New York, right, and they think the black man's the original Jew, right? They think the white man's the devil. I mean, look, you know, they have a point, right? And they think Jesus, right, is coming back to put white people in slavery, right? Which, look, I think is messed up. Because I think white people would make terrible slaves. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, you whip them once, they run to the manager. You know, you try and give them bread and water. Is it gluten-free? No. It's not gluten-free. I know some old white woman making my dinner and stuff like, Margaret, if you make me another shepherd's pie, I'm gonna sell your ass. Stand on his porch. Start selling people. I don't know. I get called a lot of stuff now. Especially with the internet, I get called tons of stuff. I get called racist words, and I get called racist for making jokes about white people. I just want to say my mom's white. I have one at home. She's fine. I have one. I have no issues with white people. Love white people, right? But everyone calls me mad things. And I'll be honest with you, when you get called a lot of stuff, you have to have a thick skin. You can't let it bother you, because it'll just get you down if you always listen to that stuff. And it's never bothered me, except for one time. Someone said something about me, and it just really annoyed. Basically, someone called me middle class, and it just really... I threw my avocado on the floor. I was perturbed. I was like, Mother, take this away. I can't finish this avocado. Middle class? I ain't middle class. I'm not you. I'm from Ilford, man. If you don't know Ilford, it's in between East London. Don't you cheer Ilford, goddammit, you hooligan. Ilford is horrible. It's in between East London and hell. That's where Ilford is. Horrible. Don't want to go Ilford, right? And it's that weird thing. It's like you work hard and then people think they can take away your identity from you. And that's like a weird point. It's like you can't be working class because you've worked hard. You get to play lovely gigs like this. You can't be what you are. And the thing is, I am working class in my heart. But there's a conflict. My brain says different sometimes. You know? Like sometimes my friends will call me from prison. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. They'll call me up and they'll be like, yo, Jamali, you need to start repping for the mandem. And I go, you know what? I need to start repping for the mandem. They say, you need to start saying free the mandem. I'm like, you know what? I need to start saying free the mandem. And that's in my heart, I believe that. We should free the man then. But then my brain goes, yes, Jamali, but now you have stuff they want to steal. So I'm like, yeah, free the man then, if they've completed the course maybe, I don't know. Free them up if they've repented. I don't know. If they ring me up, they'll be like, yo, say free Ginger J, free Ginger J. Say free Worm, is Worm still locked up? You better free him. Say free Killer. Nah, I don't know about Killer, man. I'm not saying we should never free Killer, just don't free him where I live. Because I live in a nice gentrified area now, just what I'm saying. So it's like, and I'm angry at gentrification, but it's hard because it's delicious. I'm drinking my latte going, oh, these hipsters, do you know? Like, so yeah, free hit Killer, but just not where I live, not in my community. Because gentrification is a weird one, because does anyone remember when London was shit? Like, Hammersmith was shit. None of you would have been able to be here. It was that bad. It was never Peckham shit. Peckham was shit. I go as far as Bethnal Green and look at Peckham through a telescope. That's as far as I go. But gentrification is a weird one because can we disagree that you see like middle-class hipsters that moved to the ghetto pre-gentrification are some of the most bravest people in the world? Only a hipster can go to the hood and go, no, I see potential. Seriously.
I recently got one of those virtual reality sets into the house, you know, with a mask and the whole... How many of you have done this yet? 1, 2, 7. It's amazing. It's genuinely stunning to me how few people have had a go on this, like whatever. It's genuinely stunning. You put the mask on your head, it's got 2 screens, independent screens, so therefore everywhere you move, it's like perfectly realistic. You put the headphones in, it's like completely immersive. You're in a 360-degree in all direction, totally artificial world. It's genuinely stunning. I think it's going to change gaming. I think it's going to change movies. It is going to revolutionize burglary. It's just... You break into a house and somebody has that on their face, Jesus, relax, chill out, you've got an hour. They're not going to know you're there. There's no rush, you can choose what you want. I like that, but that'll work well in the hall. It's a different game, right? And the weird thing is, as you saw there, not everyone's having a go at this. This is a genuinely transformative entertainment technology, and not everyone is using VR, right? And one of the quiet reasons that no one's talking about it, the reason that people aren't using VR is because nobody's using it to watch porn. It seems like a weird thing to do, but in the kind of history of nerdy kind of things, porn is surprisingly important for getting new technology accepted. Porn is the reason why Blu-ray beat the other kind of special DVD in their race a few years ago. Porn is the reason that sometimes video streaming software beat other kinds of video streaming software. The stuff that gets used for porn has a place immediately in the market, right? And nobody is using VR for porn, right? And I'm not naive, right? I know that men are visual creatures, but I can kind of see, you know, no man, while actually making love, has ever there been going, oh my God, this is incredible. Oh my God, honey, this is amazing. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Let me just have a quick look around the flat. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's amazing. Jesus, huge. Is that Corner Singer original now, or did you have a couple of days? But the main reason that people aren't using VR for porn is because you cannot be entirely sure that she's out for the afternoon. And I mean 100% sure, because the stakes are really high. You do not look good in this situation. You do not need your loved one going, oh, I've left my credit card, I better go back in. What is this you're doing to yourself? Yes, I was bringing the kids to my mother's house, but the little one fell in, we've had to come home. But Jesus, this is what greets us. The nightmare is you finish the wank of the century, you take off the mask, and there are 3 police officers just staring at you. Going, do you have no idea what's been happening for the last while? Somebody broke into your house. They were spotted, we were called, there's been a standoff. You've been a hostage for 45 minutes. We've had to close off your road. Sky News have a helicopter slowly circling overhead. Your wife is outside on a megaphone going, "Stay strong, John, stay strong." And all the time we've been watching you on the thermal imaging, just battering away at yourself.
I am quite impressed at the number of sports that have been adapted for disabled people, though. It's nice that they are so inclusive these days. I reckon we should go further and adapt versions of classic board games as well. You could play a very special edition of Guess Who, where all the characters had disabilities. No one would ever win, because everyone would be too afraid to describe their character in case they caused offense. The questions would be fun as well. Is your person incontinent? Does your person have crayon around his mouth? Does your person have trouble speaking properly? Is your person Danny Dyer? You could also have a disabled version of Monopoly, where every space is just free parking. Speaking from the personal experience of a bloke with a disability, I think that the dating game is much harder for people like myself. I've tried speed dating. That didn't work. By the time I'd typed out a sentence, it's time to move on to the next person. And I'm not looking for sympathy either. I'm just using emotional blackmail to try to get someone to sleep with me. I'll be in the bar afterwards, if any of you are interested. Yes, even you, sir. One of the main problems I have with dating is that I find it hard to approach girls in the traditional sense. I don't have the ability to chat up a woman. When I meet a girl, I have to type them up. And that just sounds wrong. You type up your dissertation, you type up your will, and you type up your letter to your grandma. There's nothing sexy about being typed up. Even if there was, when you're typing excitedly to a woman and accidentally spell something wrong, autocorrect is a ducking nightmare. For example, I once asked a girl if she had a pen I could borrow, so I could write down her number. I didn't expect it to say, "Can I borrow your penis?" So you can imagine my surprise when she pulled it out right in front of me. It's at this point in my set when I like to remind people that I'm not related to Stephen Hawking in any way. In fact, the closest I have ever come to being Hawking is when I went to see The Theory of Everything at the cinema. It's the movie about Stephen Hawking and his life. I didn't go to watch it, though. I just went so that I could sit at the back, say random sentences on my iPad, and fuck with the rest of the audience.
People often ask what made me get into stand-up comedy. I always say my mum's side, that's the funny side. But it more or less started with school. When I was in school, I was dyslexic. I can hear the thoughts in the room right now. Oh my God, he's dyslexic. He can't play Scrabble. Oh my gosh. I think where comedy started for me, because I was a bit of a class clown, you know, and the thing is when you're dyslexic, it's not that you can't read or you can't write. For every child, it's always different. For myself, it was always my concentration would affect my education. Like, let's say, for example, I'm talking, let's say me and you are friends, bro. We're not being destructive, though, to the class. But everybody in this room remembers that one particular old teacher. She's like 172 or some stuff like that, yeah? And do you remember when she'd catch you talking and make a big meal out of it? So we're having a small conversation. Then she noticed me, particularly me, talking. Ghastly. We've got a conversation over here. Yes, children, we've got a conversation over here. No. Stand up. No, you can stand up. Do you remember someone would try and defend it for you? Actually, do you remember what you actually say to her as a reply? But miss, I'm not even doing anything. Do you remember when teachers just lost it for a little bit? That's right! You're doing nothing! Now stand up! Someone would try and defend it for you in your honor, in your class.
Now, miss, you know what? Man wasn't even talking, you know. I was sitting right there. I'm sweating. I feel like you're just segregating him because he's a slapsticks. Why are you doing this, miss?
Do you remember when your teacher just didn't care anymore? She's been there so long, she didn't care. Do you remember your teacher's like, What? You can fuck off! Do you remember when the first time your teacher swore? Do you remember that kid? He couldn't believe it. What, you're swearing at me? No, I don't care. I'm telling my mum. What do you mean about me? I don't care about. I'm going to tell Austin. What do you mean, me, yeah? Tell the whole me. This teacher didn't care. And you, now you, stand up. So I stood in front of the whole class. You know, I was in a science lesson. So one teacher said to me, so Mr. Mo, Mr. Mo, being as you like to talk. No, because you like to talk. You ever see when teachers get so passive-aggressive they laugh, but nothing's funny? Mr. Mo, no, you like to talk. You think it's MSN or something like this, don't you? Yes. So being as you like to talk, yeah, you can tell everybody in this lesson, yes? Yeah, no, because you're a talker. You're going to be a teacher one day, aren't you? You can tell everybody in this lesson what osmosis is. Huh? What is osmosis? So I was like, osmosis. So I was like, well, osmosis is actually the process where a high concentration goes into a low concentration. A bit like if I put potatoes in water, they expand with weight and density. Anyway, what I was saying before getting really interrupted, basically like... This old teacher lost her mind. Do you remember the teacher got so angry they start shaking, but they shake so much their turkey neck would shake at the same time? Do you remember that teacher? How dare you, in my lesson, on the day of the Sabbath? The Sabbath? It's Orange Wednesdays. What's this Sabbath thing about? What's that? How can I get involved with that stuff? Do you know what? Get out right now. You can get out right now. So I never forget, you know, I'm walking outside the lesson, you know, spudding some of the guys in the way. Don't know. Oh, do you know what? I've had enough of being treated like this. I've had enough of this, because right now, I'm in year 11. Soon I'm going to leave. I'll be in college, earning some real money, making some EMA. I've had enough of being treated like this. And I said to my teacher, I said, you know what, miss? I'd actually be learning if you was doing your job, which should be teaching. The whole class simultaneously went, oh.